But wait until you find out how it was started. Ooh, intrigue, right? Do I have you?
And hello, welcome to the People Often Suck podcast. And if this is your first time, we talk about people who often suck. It's true crime, and
but not just people who suck.
we also want to highlight awesome people, good people, unsung heroes that bring joy and happiness and pleasure.
I don't know about pleasure, but that shirt,
it definitely sparks joy. I know.
See, I wear a neutral color. This is like Coco came and threw up on you.
Well, I have no complaints about it, so.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Tom, this is Tom.
Hello, I'm Tom, and I've never finished one single game of Monopoly.
It's very unfortunate. You probably were losing. That's why.
Yeah. Who are you?
I introduced you. You couldn't introduce me.
Oh, this is a black shirt over here. No,
I'm
it's
part
TC.
of the true crime.
He hates joy and fun and colors. He just wears black shirts. That's TC. That's his fact.
Wow. This. I don't know why this cable is bugging me this time around. No, I just don't have enough color in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that.
You hate fun. Anyways,
wow.
And if this
Okay.
is not your first time, if you are returning, thank you. I appreciate that.
So do I.
If you haven't, please spread the word. Let everyone else know that we're here. We really want to gain a following. We want to gain an audience. We want to keep doing this. I have fun doing this. Do you have fun doing this?
I have a lot of fun doing this, and hopefully we will get up to our third or maybe fourth listener and viewer at some point.
I think we're almost at 5.
Ooh, I don't know. Last time I checked the stats,
They said
you have a lot more work to go.
All right. Well, anyways.
But because we only have 3, 4, or maybe 5 now, it's because you're not sharing us, right? So please.
Yeah, we're on, I think, most of the socials, Facebook, X, Instagram. I think that's all the ones that matter. We're not TikTok. Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
If that's still around, we'll see.
Is it going somewhere?
I mean, it almost did.
I don't think it's going to go anywhere yet.
Well, anyway, let's start off with our first story of the day.
I can't wait. What is your story?
So, this guy, well, I'm glad we got him early. Let's just put it that way. This is about...
Wait, we got him early? What does that mean?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay, Mr. Rogers, tell me a story.
This is about Joe Clark.
Joe Clark?
Joe Clark.
Of Clarksville?
Well, he's from Baraboo, Wisconsin. You want to know what his nickname was? The Baraboo Bone Breaker.
The Baraboo Bone Breaker?
Yeah.
They say that 10 times fast after a couple shots of whiskey.
No. It's too early.
Too early?
Too
okay,
early.
Got it.
Anyway, so we'll start our tale off in July 4th, 1994, in Baraboo, Wisconsin. 14-year-old Chris Steiner went missing from his home.
14. Okay.
14.
You know, wasn't it your last episode that you also had a situation of a minor? What is with you and these stories with minors?
Well, because real POSs tend to prey on minors.
Well, they are truly POSs. There's no doubt about that. But
Yeah.
I would like a one time if you could just pick on like legal age people. But that's
does it soften the blow knowing that Joe Clark was, I believe, only 17 at the time?
Oh, this took a twist.
Yeah. So when I said we got him early,
Yeah. So his nickname was
the Bone Breaker,
the Bone Breaker,
the Bear Boo,
the Baraboo Bone Breaker.
Bone Breaker,
Yes.
Triple B.
Okay, well, let's hear the story about the Baraboo Bone Breaker.
So it was quite unusual for Chris to not be at home. He was not the type to run away or anything. He was a good lad.
A happy home life.
Yeah. Well, when his parents noticed in the early morning, they called police. And
he went missing sometime
in the
the
night.
course of the night.
Well, yeah, they called police and said, "Look, our son's not at home. He did not run away. He's not the time to do that. He's not the type to do that." They saw him in bed at 10 p.m. the previous night.
Oh,
And it's like about 6 a.m. ish was when they noticed he wasn't at
in the
home.
course of 8 hours.
Yeah.
He went missing.
Correct. Well, so police found signs of what was clearly an abduction because one of the bedroom screens was sliced wide open. There were muddy shoe prints everywhere, and one of the patio doors was unlocked.
Okay.
So somebody came through the window, left their prints everywhere, and they went out the patio door, which left it unlocked.
This is why you secure your windows. I don't care where you think you're living and all of that, but you secure your windows. I'm sorry, a little PTSD issue for me because I had somebody who tried to break into our apartment. This is way back a long time ago. And I will tell you the next day we went and got those little tiny metal things that you put in the rail that you clamp down.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was getting in after that.
Okay.
And we were all home. All of my roommates and I, we were at home.
Yeah, sometimes people don't care.
Well, he was trying to run from the police.
Oh.
So he was attempting to try to break into any place to get away from the police. We could have become a hostage situation, by the way.
Fun.
And and the police, found out which apartment that or condo he was going to, which happened to be ours, and he was on the roof of right above the living room, trying to get in the window that was right at the top of our stairs. There's 2 bedrooms upstairs and there's one downstairs. So the police were banging on the door. My downstairs roommate went to answer the door. The police pulled him out, and they're like, "Is there anyone else inside?" And they're like, "Yeah, my roommate's upstairs." So they sent him upstairs and said, "Just bang on the door and yell fire." All I remember was waking up to my roommate banging on my door yelling fire. So naturally, I quickly got out of bed. So did my next door neighbor roommate in the next room. Our other roommate from downstairs already ran out. We went running out at the same time, met right at the top of the stairs there, and right at that moment, a police dog is coming up the stairs, which we threw ourselves against the wall. Once he passed us, we went down the stairs, opened the front door, only to see a police officer with a gun pointed at our rooftop. We shut the door, backed up, and sat in the middle of the living room as we heard a skirmish upstairs by our window right there at the end of the hallway, right next to the stairs. And the guy's, screaming like, "Ouch, ouch, get the dog off me. It's hurting me. And then he was done and handcuffed and walked down the stairs and walked out. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? And that was it. The police were gone and they just said, "Have a good night."
And that's the story of how you got locks on your windows.
And that's how yes. So this is why people put locks, little things on your windows. Anyhow, that's scary as hell.
This isn't Baraboo, Nowhereville, Wisconsin. I don't think this is a typical thing.
I don't care where you are nowadays. You put your damn little things on the windows. Because look, a 14-year-old is gone.
Correct. And it does not get better.
Ugh.
So, despite all their best efforts to locate Chris, he was found dead 5 days later, draped over a partially submerged tree on the edge of a Wisconsin River sandbar. So
That's so sad.
what was odd about his death was that the autopsy was showing no traumatic injuries. It was clear that he had drowned. That much they knew. They just don't know how. If he got in himself, he was thrown in there, they couldn't determine exactly what.
Okay.
So, case went cold. Flash forward to July 29, 1995.
And wait, hold on 1 second. They had no evidence of all of the stuff at the house with the mud and...
They didn't have any suspects. They knew something was, a foul. He was most likely kidnapped. He was most likely thrown into the river where he drowned. However, they could not piece together who could have done this, if somebody else did this, and how he ended up over there.
Was there anything sadly done?
We'll get there.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, again, flashing forward a year, July 29th, 1995.
Okay.
Thad Phillips, 13 years old. He was woken up when he felt himself being carried from the living room couch. He fell asleep watching TV. At first, he thought, one of his, you're a kid, you fall asleep.
You're half in, half out.
Half in, yeah. You think like,
is his dad taking
somebody
me?
is taking me upstairs. Yeah. Instead, it was a young man he did not recognize, Joe Clark. That thought it was, okay, well, maybe this is a family friend. Again, you're 13 years old, you're in and out, you don't really know what's going on. This guy is like, hey, I need you to come with me. Like, oh, something happened maybe. It wasn't until they arrived at a ramshackle of a home about a mile away that Thad came to the realization, like, okay,
This is not a friend.
I might be in trouble here.
Okay.
For the next 43 hours, Thad was tortured and suffered some of the worst pain imaginable.
Oh, my gosh.
At 13.
I don't care what age. That's horrible. But, of course, for a minor, even more horrific, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So first, Thad was forced upstairs. And just a word of warning, it's not so much that it's graphic, but the thought of this really made my skin crawl. He's called the Bone Breaker for a reason, people. And Clark grabbed one of his ankles.
Is this like the movie Misery?
Very much.
Oh.
Twisted his ankle until it snapped. Yeah. So Thad managed to free himself.
No way, really?
Yeah, he fought him off at 13.
Good. I hope he kicked his ass.
Well,
as much as he could at 13 and with a broken ankle.
And now with broken ankle, he managed to hobble downstairs, but Clark caught up with him.
Yeah, because he's not moving fast.
And threw him to the couch. Now, this angered Clark.
Oh,
Because how dare you? I thought we were friends.
Well, that's a warped way of looking at a friendship.
Oh, this is a warped guy. So, you've done yoga before, right?
Attempt.
Okay. You ever been into a pose where you're like, okay, my leg is not going any further?
Yes, yoga and I are not friends.
Correct. Yeah. Well, imagine this, if you will. Clark took Thad's leg and pushed it up towards his head. Now, there's only so far.
On the front side or back side?
So, imagine he's trying to kiss his toes.
Okay.
So he lifted it up towards his head and then just leaned into it until his thigh snapped.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, but, afterwards, Clark would bandage him up with, some crude casts and socks and whatever he had lying around. So, yeah, he would
show moments of compassion, but then turn around and be...
Yeah.
I mean,
he would,
obviously...
He would break something of his, and then he would mend him. Because he's a psycho.
Yeah, no doubt.
So this, unfortunately, continued on into the next day of July 30th. Clark did try to get away another time.
Oh, my gosh. What a brave kid.
I mean, Clark. Thad, he did try to get away while Clark was away. He only managed to get down to the kitchen when Clark came back with a girl, and Thad just kind of like froze in place, hoping that he would go away. However, once the girl left, Clark spotted him in the kitchen. So he would continue to
torture him more. And he was probably upset.
Yeah. And the next time he needed to leave, he thought he's not going to take any chances with him. So he locked him in the closet upstairs and then left. Well, Thad is a freaking fighter. He found an old guitar in the closet with him, and he used it to break down the door.
Good for Thad.
Now, at this point, his legs are useless, so he crawled downstairs painfully.
Yes.
Passing out several times from the pain.
Oh, my gosh.
And managed to get a hold of the phone, dial 911. And from what he could recollect, give a relative position of where he was. The police they were able to track him down. They rescued him. They arrested Clark. So that was cool.
Is he okay now?
He does have a permanent limp. He had to have many surgeries, but he is good, Thad.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah. Now,
so that was when 30 years ago.
Yeah. So when he was being interviewed, Thad mentioned, again, Clark would mend him and basically like just chat with him as if they were buddies. Okay?
No way. Really?
Yeah.
This guy was a psycho.
Yes. Well, in one of these chats, he had mentioned that he'd done this to 2 other boys. One of them, his name, Thad couldn't remember, but the other one was Chris. So this was enough to...
So now they have the connection.
So this was enough for them to exhume Chris's body to look further into...
To see if there's broken bones and things like that, right?
To see if there was some sort of link.
And guess what? There's broken bones, huh?
And X-rays showed that Chris's injuries actually matched Thad's injuries.
Oh, well, followed the same pattern.
Yeah, which, you could be asking, why didn't they figure this out the first time? Well, based on how long I think he was in the water, it kind of masked what his injuries were, so they didn't look for broken bones.
Right.
Or, maybe this broke.
Well, and he was dead at this point, so...
Well, he was dead, but also, maybe these broke because he got washed up into the river. But now, because there's consistency in these injuries...
Now they were able to research it differently and look for traces of similarities.
Yes. So, while Clark did plead no contest to Thad's attack, He was sentenced to a 100-year prison term.
100-year prison term?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it pretty much life in prison at that point?
Pretty much. But I can't remember all the charges, but attempted murder was definitely going to be one of those things.
Well, that would be for Thad.
Yes.
But then they got him on murder charges for the other one, right?
Yeah. So Clark pled not guilty to Chris, but claiming, he doesn't remember anything about that. But there was enough evidence to link the two, and he was found guilty, and he was given life plus 50 years. So he is never going to see the outside of a jail cell, thankfully.
So this was in 1995.
Yeah, 94 and 95.
Okay.
Now, problem
but 95 is when he was caught.
Yes. The problem is, Thad had mentioned there was another boy. In fact, there was a list.
A list?
There was a list that Joe Clark had made up, and
was he checking them off?
Pretty much. He was like watching them.
Wow.
Yeah. He was compiling a list of no, maybe, and who he's done things to. But they couldn't find this other boy, unfortunately, so that wasn't linked to him.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's not getting out, so that's good, but sad overall.
Yeah.
So, but yet, I'm just curious, to a certain extent, this is a different kind of a Jeffrey Dahmer situation, but was there anything sexual with these, or was it just that he wanted to afflict pain and that was it? But then turn around and be compassionate for, does that hurt?
Yeah, he just had this weird obsession with hearing the snap, crackle, pop of bones breaking. I don't know how you get into that, but he was clearly obsessed with it to the point where he was more than willing to inflict this on anyone smaller than him.
And that's really what it was. It had to have been somebody younger. Mm-hmm. Still, the bones are in a growing state, so they're a little bit more fragile.
Presumably. I don't know. I've never broken
anyone else's bones. Well, I can only imagine. Well, yeah, but I can only imagine, a kid of the age of 12, 13, 14, probably to a certain extent. And these were probably smaller built guys in the sense that they weren't, working out and bodybuilding, in school and all that stuff. So what a sick psycho.
Yeah. So like I said, glad we got him early. Who knows if this guy never got caught, who or how many he'd do the same exact thing to, because he had a pattern he enjoyed.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun stuff, right?
Thank you. Maybe your next episode story is going to also be, yet again, about minors and how they could be tortured. And
I mean, I don't look for that detail.
They just find you. Although, yet again, not another story about Florida. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. See, I'm taking it easy on them. I'm trying.
You finally have listened, and you're giving Florida a little bit of a break. I'm proud of you.
Let them take a little breather.
So proud of you. Well,
I'm trying to diversify and expand outside of Florida.
Okay, good. Well, this story actually, I think so far all of my stories this season, up until now this episode, I have been doing stories that have been very much in the past,
which is where you live.
I'm gonna leave that one just alone and keep moving on. But this one is actually in a more recent past. So much so that it was in 2025.
Okay.
In fact, it was February of 2025.
Okay.
I know you keep looking down at my paper going, my headline is, because I put little, headers on the top of mine.
It's
Mine's
so adorable.
Mine's Burning Revenge.
Did you come up with that?
I did. I came up with that all by myself.
Use AI?
No, I did not use AI. Thank you. Not like our thumbnails. Anyhow,
No, those
great job.
Thank you.
Yes, very good job. He does those. So, on a cold February morning, a fire started at a private residence in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. But wait until you find out how it was started. Ooh, intrigue, right? Do I have you? Okay, good.
So dumb.
Wow, what a supportive co-host. So, an ex-boyfriend of an unidentified Michigan girl, this young man of 21 named Harrison Jones, allegedly drove over 700 miles to Bensalem, Pennsylvania, to execute an evil plot that would cause a home to go up in flames. Dedication, driving over 700 miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So on the evening of February 9th, Harrison set out for his 11-hour drive from his home in Rockford, Michigan, to Bensalem, where he allegedly, because I have to use the term allegedly, there isn't any final resolution on court trial here, where he, at least as of this airing, he drove over 11 hours all the way there to allegedly plan to burn down a particular home. This, not just any home, though. I want you to understand he didn't just randomly drive that far to say, I hate that home, I'm going to burn it down. Nope, this was a home where another young man lived that was talking to Harrison's ex-girlfriend.
Wait. So, isn't that the home of his ex-girlfriend? It's the home of somebody who was talking to his ex-girlfriend.
Bingo.
His ex-girlfriend that lives 11-hour drive
No.
away?
The ex-girlfriend lives in Michigan as well. But this boy that she's talking to, this young man she's talking to, lives in Bensalem, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to snuff that threat right out.
Well, long-distance relationships don't work, obviously. So,
wow.
However, up to this point, this girl has yet to meet this young guy in person. They're only talking.
That's how it starts.
Well, that's how it starts, but the ex drove over 700 miles, 11 hours.
To prove his love.
Apparently, to prove his love. Damn it, I love you. I'm going to drive all the way there to a guy that you're only talking to, presumably over phone or, on the internet or whatever it is, social media.
Probably just the internet.
Probably. So, but she was planning to meet him later that week, that particular week in Pennsylvania.
Can't meet him when he doesn't have a home. Oh, gotcha.
Or not alive. So around 5:22 a.m. on the morning of February 10th, so now the next morning, is when the police and firefighters responded to a report of a house fire on the 5200 block of Merganser Way. Okay, probably did not say that right, but there you go. So a 2-story structure was engulfed in flames with 6 family members caught inside. But when the firefighters and the police showed up, thankfully they had all escaped the fire without, any loss of human life.
No.
Yes, unfortunately, the 2 dogs did not make it out.
Oh, give this a-hole the chair.
Yep. I agree with that one. When I saw that part, I was like, fry the bastard. I'm sorry.
You know what? And not even just kind of like jostle it a couple times just to give him a few shots.
Yeah. So thankfully, though, there could have been loss of life. And the family members like to chalk it up to their mother, who rescued them all, because at about 5:17 a.m. she happened to be walking downstairs when she noticed her kitchen and living room on fire.
Wow.
So she immediately got the family members up, like, get out, like the story I just shared. My roommate pounding on the doors, fire.
Right.
Which, by the way, is a good learning lesson to anyone, that if you're ever in a situation where you have to get your roommates or family members out quickly, regardless if there's a fire or not, you don't like knock on the door and go, hey, you got to get out of the house quickly because of blah, blah, blah. The police officer told my roommate from downstairs, and in this case, pound on the door and just yell fire and get the hell out of there. And it got us moving quick. Unfortunately, one of the family members did have to jump from the second story window.
Oh.
So they were injured, but of course they did survive, thankfully, but they did get injured.
And that's why we have a fire ladder.
Correct. Which I don't have a fire ladder.
Yeah,
I should probably get that for my house. Do you have one?
Yeah, we got two. Which, if you're not familiar, it's a little rolled up ladder that if for any reason you need to get out of a second or third story, you just kind of attach it to the windowsill and just, chuck it out. That way you can climb down.
So if I call you and say my house is on fire, you get your butt over here and bring your fire ladder.
So what, you want me to come inside, go upstairs to then roll out the ladder?
Yes. Would you do that for me?
If I say yes, will we move on?
Okay, we'll move on. I'm going out that window right there, and there's a car right outside there that I can jump onto.
Oh yeah, that'll probably break your fall.
A little bit, but knowing me, I will break something in the process. So
yes.
But it didn't take. Thank you for agreeing quickly. It didn't take investigators long.
I've seen you just walk and fall.
You mean like that one time in Disney California Adventure?
Yeah.
When I tripped over literally a quarter of an inch of a lip.
Yeah.
And then
You literally spilled blood for the company.
My arm went right across the railing there. It was right across from Guardians of the Galaxy. You're right. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show it right here. You're going to see what that looked like. I did survive, though. I have a couple scars still here.
Oh, you survived?
I did survive, but
I
have 3 scars right here. Thank you, Disney. Anyhow, so I really did give my blood for that place. Mm-hmm. It didn't take long for investigators to determine that the fire was, of course, arson. Yep. So this complete half-wit, ignorant moron doesn't realize in this day and age that there's a lot of home surveillance cameras now out there.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm grateful that people don't realize that.
I'm grateful, too. I have cameras all around my house, so I'm ready for anyone to... Well, I don't want anyone to show up. Anyhow. So they obtained surveillance video showing a Volkswagen Passat. Pulling up to the home at around 5 a.m. that morning. A man then exits the vehicle and goes back to the back of the house, staying in that area for about 4 minutes before returning to his car. Then the man grabs some stuff from the car, goes back to the rear of the house, where he stays there for about 12 or so minutes. Then, at about 5:18 a.m., the man is seen running from the back of the home, fleeing to his Volkswagen. About 30 seconds later, smoke and an explosion are seen from the house. Investigators determined the Volkswagen exited I-95 at Street Road around 1:24 a.m. That morning, and then drove directly to the home. And then he stayed in the car for a few hours before obviously doing his dirty deed. Investigators said the Volkswagen then got back on I-95 south at 5:24 a.m. that morning. Like, they do his tracing everything. The investigators traced the license plate. Dumb idiot. They got it on surveillance of the license plate of the Volkswagen to a home in Kent County, Michigan. Ben Salem Police and the Kent County Sheriff's Department later identified the driver as 21-year-old Harrison Jones, the son of the vehicle's owner and resident of Rockford, Michigan. On February 12, 2025, so not that much later, members of the Kent County Sheriff's Department executed a search warrant at the Michigan home where they recovered... Idiots, if you're going to commit a crime, get rid of the evidence.
Well, don't help them.
Okay. Well, no, they're stupid enough. How many decades old have all these crimes happened and they keep doing the same stupid things besides the stupidity of the actual crime in the first place?
Yeah, well, again, they clearly weren't told, so you're now telling them how to get away with it.
Don't listen to me. Don't follow my instructions. So they recovered lidocaine burn cream, well, in case he burns himself, gauze wrappings, a locking pin, and the Volkswagen Passat that had been spotted on the surveillance video. Okay, so they pretty much now are starting to collect all the evidence. Police interviewed Harrison, who denied being in Pennsylvania at the time of the fire. However, again, the police said they obtained surveillance video showing Harrison was at the Wawa. For us in California, Wawa is
like a 7-Eleven?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. About an hour away from Ben Salem the morning of the fire. In this day and age, there's eyes everywhere. So Harrison's father also told police that a phone amp tracked his son to Pennsylvania around the time of the fire when it started, according to court documents.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, yeah, they. I think one of the first things they do is they just check phones.
Oh yeah,
it's like, oh hey, it looks like you who are supposed to be here, you were pinged right there.
Right. Harrison was then arrested and charged with the attempted homicide, arson, and other related offenses. While being held in custody in Michigan, Harrison spoke out by saying, "I didn't want to do any of this. I feel so bad that the house got burned down," Harrison said. Okay. "It wasn't me that set the fire, and yeah, I guess I was forced to."
What?
Yeah, so now you have to wonder, what's going on? Harrison claimed he traveled to Pennsylvania because he was forced to by others who threatened the people he loved.
Right.
He didn't go into detail about the individuals he claimed threatened him or what those threats supposedly were, however.
Is crazy contagious now?
I don't know.
Because I keep seeing more and more of it.
This is kind of, if we could play the creepy music, this is kind of like, okay, the voices in your head. Is this, and it's funny because last week I was on a trip and I was with one of my buddies, and we happened to play while we were driving the documentary for the Amityville Horror. And so if you're familiar with the story at all, you saw that movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How the, I forgot his name, but it was the family that was in there that the eldest son, killed the whole family.
Right.
And he's like, I heard voices. Spoiler. I don't think after all these years that's a spoiler alert. Anyhow, so Harrison continues by saying, I drove alone out there, and I think they were already out there. Jones says. I had like a 3, maybe 4 hour block in my memory where I don't remember anything.
So he's going to try and claim insanity now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Harrison denies being jealous of the Pennsylvania man. Oh, just happened to go to the house that your ex-girlfriend is talking to the guy. Who had communicated with his ex-girlfriend and claimed he only wanted her to be happy. He continues, I feel really bad, he said. I ruined her Valentine's Day. I mean, I didn't burn down the house.
I'm sorry, but you killed 2 dogs, so... F you.
Yeah. Well, you killed 2 dogs, which is absolutely horrific, and he deserves. Hopefully the part of the charges are all part of that.
Hopefully, because as we discussed before, those are now felonies, and you can get up to 7 years per count. So since that's 2 dogs,
that could be 14.
That could be 14 minimum.
Harrison faces 13 felonies. 6 misdemeanor charges charges including 6 counts of attempted murder and various arson charges. He was also denied bail.
Good.
So obviously they're taking him seriously.
As they should.
Yeah.
And 21, like, well, I hope she was worth it, dude, because you literally just threw your life away.
Yeah. So at the time of the podcast recording, there are no reports yet of the trial proceedings as far as ultimately what he got or anything like that. So
that's wild. What did it say anywhere like how he started the fire?
Did not say, but what I did read was that it was started. It says how he went to the back of the house, so he started it somewhere in the back of the house. You know, a lot of the houses back in the Midwest and in the South don't have fences, so your house is exposed 360 degrees around it. So I don't know about this house if they had a fence or not, but if you're pretty much, wide open in the back like that, it kind of gives an opportunity for something like that's why, again, put things on your windows, and you should have a wall or a fence around the back of your house.
Well, yeah, crazy too, though, that the time that he was there and when the mom came down, there wasn't that much time in between, and that fire was blazing. So I was just kind of curious, like, what accelerant did he use to like get it going so fast, and none of the dogs were barking at him or anything, and
right.
So,
well, and that's interesting. I mean, obviously he probably used some sort of fuel, of some sort to get it going. It doesn't say why there was an explosion, but I'm wondering if it hit, again, a lot of those places, those houses back east, will have like natural gas tanks on the outside. So I don't know if it hit that, but if it wasn't for Mom walking downstairs, this could have been truly, outside of the unfortunate dogs, this could have been definitely more life-threatening as far as the family members. And as it was, one of the family members had to jump out of their window on the second story.
Oof. All right. Well, that was not as bad as the bone breaker.
No, yours was horrific.
It was. But
just,
let me make it up to you with a very heartwarming story. Actually, I feel like we've been kind of ragging on Japan lately, so this maybe
we have ironically done 2 stories this season about Japan.
Yeah, they're like the Florida of the Far East.
That's wrong, because they're good friends of ours now.
So
well, apparently they haven't surrendered still, so
according to some people,
don't say who, but yes.
According to some, So I think a lot of people may have heard about this story, or at least a rendition of the story. Have you ever watched Futurama?
Oh, yeah. I love Futurama. I
So-
don't watch it today, but I did. I was an avid watcher for a while.
So, do you recall the episode where they found Fry's dog? Like a mummified.
Yeah, I think I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, if for some reason you don't know what I'm talking about, it's an animated show. It's been around for decades now, surprisingly, since like 1999. 2000.
Yeah, I was going to say it started in the 90s for sure.
And same guy who did Simpsons. This is his pet project too. Anyway, just to kind of like summarize it real fast, Fry gets frozen and wakes up 1,000 years in the future. He doesn't know anybody. He makes friends with a robot, and he's a
Bender, who is
and he's
a very crude, loudmouth robot.
It's a
Yes.
fun show. He's a delivery boy. Anyway,
Well, he's kind of the Homer Simpsons of the future.
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Anyway, so they go to a museum where they basically see.
That's right. Now I remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
remnants of his life, and he's having all the. Oh my gosh, I remember this. And
Yeah.
Then there's his dog. He's like, oh my gosh, that's my dog Seymour. So, it's the future, and they're like, oh well, we can clone him if you want. You can, relive a life together. And there was a lot of flashbacks between when they were together in the past, and they had like this great relationship.
You're not going to tear up, are you?
No. However, this is probably one of the saddest episodes of, I think, any animated show.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it
because
seriously is so
that was
sad.
his best friend.
It was his best friend.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil it just yet, but let me get to this, because this story takes place in 1920s Japan.
Oh, so it's a positive story of Japan.
Yes, this is a positive story. As a I guess as an apology for maybe taking things too far and thinking we're attacking the motherland.
Well, you did point out that they completely messed up the whole AIDS epidemic situation and caused unnecessary.
I may have done that. Well, you brought up a horrific story from the 80s.
True, but I also pointed out that overall, this is like a weird, unique anomaly in their overarching, typically good society where they're more law-abiding than we are in the United States. So mine had kind of a unique twist to it that showed they do have a POS over there, but not all of them are.
Well, this is, have you heard of the Hachiko?
You mean like as in the gum?
I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Japan. I'm sorry if I'm not.
So not like chiclet.
So, no. Hachiko is an Akita dog.
Okay, so is that a small dog?
No, it's kind of like almost husky size.
Oh, that's a bigger sized dog. Okay.
Yeah. So Hachiko was born in mid-November 1923. It was in 1924 that... okay, I'm going to try real hard here. Haitsuburo Inu, a professor at the Tokyo Imperial University, brought him to live with him in Shibuya, Tokyo.
You did very well there.
I think so.
I'm proud of you.
So, however, it was a long train ride back.
Okay.
It was about a 20-hour train ride. There were no bullet trains back then.
No,
people.
apparently not.
Yeah.
They were steamers back then.
Yeah. So when they got back home, Hachi, as they called him, which...
The name of the dog?
The name of the dog is Hachi, which I found out means, and I could be wrong here, 8, which is a lucky number.
I believe 8 is a lucky number in Japan.
Yeah. So Hachi, when they got back home, he was not doing so good, and they thought he could possibly die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the professor and his girlfriend, Yay? Y-A-E.
Are you trying to give me an expression of something
I'm
an
trying-
actual
I'm
name?
looking for help. Throw me a life preserver.
I think... Yay?
All right. Well, the professor and his girlfriend,
Okay.
they
I think Yay's probably right. We'll
Maybe.
go for it.
They nursed Hachi over for the next 6 months back to health. So, happy story.
Okay.
All right.
And
Well,
the story's over?
oh no. So
Oh.
the professor and Hachi, best of friends, completely inseparable. In fact, on his way to work, Hachi would escape and follow him to this train station.
Oh.
Yeah. Once he was older, Hachi would actually continue to see him off regularly to the train station every single day. He would,
And then automatically go back?
and then just go back home. He knew exactly where to go. So every morning, the professor would go to the Shibuya train station, and this was in central Tokyo. And then he would meet Hachi back at the train station later on in the afternoon.
No way.
Yep.
That dog knew when to go?
Hachi knew exactly when his train would arrive, and he would be there waiting for him every afternoon.
See, this is Japanese dogs. They just know. Much smarter than our American dogs.
What's an American dog?
Obviously dumb enough to not know to go back to the train station when they're supposed to go.
So, May 21st, 1925. At this point, Hachi was about 2 years old.
Okay.
Hachi sat at the train station waiting by the exit as usual, but his owner never showed up. Yeah. Turns out that the professor had suffered a cerebral hemorrhage and died suddenly while at work. He was only 53.
Wow, he was young.
Yeah. Hachi was eventually taken in with by a former gardener of the professor's family, and I feel like it was appropriate to name him Kozaburo Kobayashi.
Okay.
So he was nice enough to take Hachi in, and he lived close enough to the family home and to the train station. For the rest of his 10-year-long life, Hachi would continue to go to Shibuya train station every afternoon
Looking for his...
precisely when the train was due to enter. He would sit there for hours, patiently waiting in vain for the return of his beloved owner. Every afternoon. And...
It's okay to admit it.
Hmm.
You said you cried when you were doing the story.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean...
Reading the story, it hit me, man.
Yeah, this would hit me. I mean, I literally, I would have on the verge of tears in the moment, but that is just...
Now, if
they do a movie like this...
They did.
Of course they did.
There's actually, I think there's two movies. One from Japan. I'm not sure how old it is. It's maybe about 40 years old at this point. But there's a more recent one with Richard Gere from 2009. Crazy enough.
Okay.
Yeah. When's the last time you heard of a Richard Gere movie?
I didn't realize that he was making movies still in 2009.
Me neither. I don't think he is anymore. Right?
No.
He's retired, right?
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah.
But what was the name of the movie, do you know?
It was the Richard Gere one, which is called Hachiko.
Hachiko?
It was Hachiko something, like a loyal dog or something like that. I don't know.
Richard Gere didn't play
He played Richard Gere.
as Richard Gere?
Yeah. Richard Gere, played by Richard Gere.
Okay, but he didn't try to be like the professor.
No, I think he was the professor
As Richard Gere.
as Richard Gere.
I'm not sure that I'm following as Richard Gere he played it, or was he being a Japanese?
He was not being Japanese. This is, I think, an Americanized version of this story.
Got it. So, and the other one you talked about was a Japanese version.
Yes.
Was it all done in Japanese?
Yes.
And so therefore, if you watched it here, you would have to get subtitles?
You would have to get subtitles, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't that great, unfortunately. This part did kind of bum me out. It was not initially noticed at first what was happening. At first, he was just, he was doing his thing, but passengers and kids, they were not nice to him.
Oh my gosh. Really, in Japan? This is really upsetting me.
Yeah. Well, it was in 1932 when this story eventually got to a reporter of a Japanese newspaper, decided to write about it, printed it, and this changed everything for Hachi. He now became a local celebrity. So people from all around the world came to visit just to see Hachi, offer him treats, play with him. But he would always be looking around waiting for his owner.
That's sad.
He would continue to wait until he died on March 8th, 1935.
Wow. It's quite a bit of time.
Yeah. So
Because what was the year that the professor died again?
it was in 1925.
So 10 years exactly for the most part.
For the most part, 10 years.
Wow.
He kept looking for him. You tell me that's not sad.
You're crying,
Yeah.
not me.
You got all this dust in this room. So
That is a great story.
a bronze statue was put up at the station as a symbol of love, devotion, and loyalty. So, again, going back to the Futurama episode, highly recommend it because eventually Fry did decide not to clone his dog because he thought, I only had Seymour for a short period of time. He probably found a great home after I left. And it was in that flashback period where Fry went out on his last delivery before he was frozen for 1,000 years, and Seymour would wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
And
Yes, I remember that. And Fry did the very selfless act of he spent the rest of his time with, hopefully another family that loved him and took care of him.
But it turned out Seymour stood there and waited.
Oh, that's right.
Waited for Fry to come back, who never did, because he was frozen. So, yeah.
Okay, stop it. No more. Okay, we're
Okay.
done.
No more.
Gosh.
That's
oh
it.
my gosh. When it comes to a dog or cat that's waiting for their I don't want to keep going because it'll get me all teared up. So
Yeah. So, if you haven't seen that episode, watch it. It's called Jurassic Bark. There's some discrepancy as to what season it was because I've got season 5, episode 2. I've gotten season 4, episode 7. So just look for Jurassic Bark. Highly
if you
recommend
Google
you watch
that,
it.
You'll be able to find it.
Highly recommend you watch it. Also, note that his statue is one of the biggest tourist attractions in Tokyo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
it is.
great.
And if I ever go to Tokyo...
Oh, we're going. Remember? We talked about that.
I'm definitely going there.
But you promised me that you would not embarrass me and eat sushi with a fork.
I promise nothing.
It's either that or you don't go in that shirt.
Dude.
Tanya,
that's
Coco threw up on you.
That's a Sophie's choice right there.
Coco threw up on you.
Oh, well.
Was that it?
I'll figure something out. Yeah, that's it.
That was a great ending. Kind of a little sad, but a cool tribute at the same time.
Yeah, it's okay if you had to reach for a tissue. I definitely had to when I was writing this.
And I can see why.
Yeah, it's just an awesome story.
Yep. Well, thank you for giving us a poignant ending to this episode.
I thought it was time.
It was time. It only took us until the middle of season 3 to finally. Well, I don't know. My little tiki cat story was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Blind out there in the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
About ready to go in. Wouldn't have lived if it wasn't for those 2 Samaritans who sacrificed themselves to go out and get little tiki.
That was season 2?
It was season 1. It was the finale.
Oh, that's
with Mark.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, thank you for that close. And yet you had a very disturbing POS story. So
I feel I kind of redeemed myself with the good story.
yeah, we'll give that to you. I mean, my story was just a showcase of a moron who didn't really think things through.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Anyhow, well, thank you for joining us today, and we are here brought to you in our POS studio, where our producer, Marku, not Marky Mark, because that's a whole different person.
The one and only Mark Walligren.
Yes, he was the Marky Mark of his time. Anyhow, we love our Mark Walligren. So please make sure to share us and tell your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, people you run into at the store about People Often Suck podcast, because that's how we're going to be able to stick around longer and bring more of these exciting episodes to you, right?
I assume so. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, let's try. Let's do it. Let's do that. See if it works, and if not, we'll try something else.
And comment if you love his shirts. I think.
Do I need to get more? Because I'm thinking I need to get more.
No.
And maybe comment, does TC need to wear something other than black? Literally anything other than black.
Wow. I happen to like. I'm embracing a little bit of my former goth life that I used to live.
Oh.
That is 100% not true. But anyhow.
All right.
Well, anyhow, thanks for joining us, and we will see you again very soon. Just make sure that you don't become a POS, because you could show up on our next podcast as a crappy story. Bye.
Bye.